Good afternoon, everyone. Hope y'all having a great afternoon. It's a beautiful day out here in New Bedford, Mass. I am on the Sports Wave Network, and my show is called Sports Corner with the Con Man, and I am your host of the Con Man. I felt it was needed for me to come on today's surprise edition because I have a lot to say. When I have my guests on, I always ask them about their grind and their journey. Well, I think it's time to let you know about my grind and my journey. And it's been tough, but it's been very rewarding, to say the least. Um, but first and foremost, I want to thank Jake Silver, uh, Con McCann, Coach Dante, and of course the number one and only Key Williams for allowing me to do what I do because I go against the grain, as you all know by now. It's a sports network, and I've had guests who are music entertainers. I've had guests who are, maybe of a different breed, but I also know that I've been given the platform to do what I like to do, and I have an affinity to try to help others and do what I can. And thanks to the network and Key and Jake and all them to allow me to do what I do. Oh, we're going to talk sports, no doubt. But I want to go back. I'm trying to go back at the beginning and how this all transpired. So y'all get to know a little bit about me. It's all transparency. I got nothing to hide. When I grew up in a great family. My dad happened to pass away when I was about 16, 17. But prior to that, my first venture into sports was watching my older brother Billy play, and he used to always use the backboard. I'll never forget that. He always used to use the backboard. And me being not the brightest bulb on the block, if y'all know about old school, you'll know. There was like a film, different colors of film in my living room. And I would put that on the TV to try to make it look like it was color TV. But we didn't have color TV. But that's how it kind of started. And I remember Willie Mays was my brother's idol, and I followed Willie Mays in his career. And that's the start of it. And then we go a little fast forward. I was, I guess, able to play at a place called the Verdian Vets, which is here in New Bedford, which is a great city, by the way. If y'all have a chance to come down, you should come down. And I played basketball, and I was terrible. I was horrendous. I was terrible to the point where I cried. I went home and cried like a little baby because I didn't have that talent that I thought I should have had. But I went to work. We had a place called the Salvation Army, where the court was like high. So the basket was high, but the bottom ground was low. So the courts were very different. But I worked my behind off, and I would walk up the hill left-handed, walk down the hill right-handed, and vice versa. So I could not have anything to stop me. And that's why I tell all these players, try to do the best you can, right-handed, left-handed. So there's no option. If they want to make you go left, go left. They want to make you go right, you go right. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do that at a high level. I was blessed. I did put the work in, but after that, I guess you could say that, and I was a boxing fanatic because my dad was a trivia guy, and that's how I became, I guess, the basketball historian. It was through my dad because he was a boxing historian, and he had a book. He had a big book. Y'all gotta check. He had a big book, and in it he'd have the top 50 middleweight champions or whatever one, and he would name them in reverse order. Think about that. Reverse order. He would name them reverse order. And anyway, that's how I became, I guess, my dad's son, because I got to the level of I wanted to be a trivia king like him. And he passed away when I was 18, and I carried on his tradition. And I became what I call the basketball historian. But once I had the great Sam Jones on my show, lights out, lights out. When I had the opportunity to have the great Sam Jones come on my show, I'm telling y'all, it was ridiculous. I had me in tears. What the Celtics had to go through. Bill Russell. Now y'all remember Bill Russell, phenomenal. He had 11 championships. Sam had 10. People don't realize he had 10. 10. Anyway, so I guess moving a little fast forward. Out here in New Bedford at the time, obviously we didn't have no pro ball players coming through. So when we did have one, obviously I'm going to go see who it was. The very first one was a guy by the name of Lou Hudson. You guys probably are not aware who he is, but he played for the Atlanta Hawks. He played with Pete Maravich. He was a phenomenal scorer, and he came to Buttonwood Park, and he was phenomenal. And right after that, we had a guy by the name of JoJo White, who played for the Boston Celtics. I have to blame JoJo White for a lot of my shooting issues. Because if you all know JoJo White, he would always shoot and he would turn his wrist. And I follow that. And if you ever saw me shoot, you would see that my ball goes a different direction. How? I don't know. But I'm blaming it on JoJo White. God bless his soul. But that's where my shot went. To the left, to the right. It went in, but it didn't look good. And from there, I had the pleasure of meeting so many people and the accessibility to all my friends. I've had great friends when I was growing up. I've had Eric Brittle, who was an NBA referee, phenomenal. And he now is the CEO of True Bounce Backboards. So he's doing phenomenal. One of my other best friends is David Lato, who coached at Northeastern and Virginia and DePaul and Missouri and Tulsa. And now he's working with the Overtime Elite. And he is a very special friend. So I've had, again, accessibility for that, which I know a lot of the podcasters never had the accessibility that I have had. And I appreciate it with 100%. And I wanted to come on today, and I talked to my producer, Key. I wanted to come on today because I ask all my guests to give their grind, their journey, and I think it's time I give you mine. So here it is. Let me go back again. So I played football a little bit. Wasn't that good. I played a little bit of football. Wasn't that good, but I did the damn thing. And I went to Bishop Stain High School, 95% white. And I had to sweep the floor, mop the floor, clean the cafeteria. I had to do all that for my tuition. And I'll never forget, I can't even say the guy's name. He came with a blank checkbook, drove in with a Cadillac. I was a high school student. I drove up with a Cadillac, a blank checkbook. And I'm here watching the floor, sweeping the floor in order for me to get my scholarship. And it was kind of tough, and my mother made ends meet. How? I do not know to this day how she did it. Every day I had, because lunch back in the day, you had change, to get your lunch. And every morning I'd wake up, sure enough, I had change to get lunch. And incredible. She raised 4 kids, and I got nothing but praise for my mom. She's still living, by the way. She's 87, and that's cool. I got no issues with my upbringing. I had great upbringing. But, again, through my friends, I got to meet a lot of great people. I know y'all know about Adi Williams. He's number 7 for the Celtics. He came down across the street. uh, at the Paris household, and I got to meet Paul Silas. If y'all remember him, he came upstairs across from me, and I had him sign an autograph ball. Paul Silas. He came with Sash Sanders and the Celtics, about four of them. Uh, that was incredible. Again, in New Bedford, which is incredible. I had that opportunity, and then after that, let me see. I'm trying to go back. I went to Bishop Stang High School. I was considered the best ball player in the South End. Um, but I went to Bishop Stang. To this day, I really don't know why, but I did. And I swept the floor, and I washed the floor and washed the whatever you want to call it. And of course, I got laughed at, uh, because these kids were rich and I wasn't. So, but I went to Stang, and I produced. I did the I did the damn thing. You can look it up, and I'm going into the Bishop Stang Hall of Fame next year. So I guess I did all right. But anyway, when I was in my senior year, I didn't know I was going to go. I wanted to go to the University of Hawaii. Don't ask me why. I wanted to go to the University of Hawaii. I wanted to take up medical science or something with the medical field, the fitness field. And I had no idea where I was going to go. But I had a great friend of mine, and his name is Mickey Gonzalez. Mickey Gonzalez lived right around the corner from me, and we played ball almost every day. And he busted my ass. I'm telling you, he could jump half an inch, could not stop his shot. But anyway, he taught me very well, and I busted my ass trying to stop him, and I couldn't. And I remember my senior year, he played at Boston State, and then he went to Framingham State, and they said he hit 20 out of 22 shots. And I'm like, what? Did I believe it? Yeah. So anyway, he recruited me, and the coach of Framingham State never saw me play. And I remember my dad died, and I got MVP of the summer league out here, which was the best of the best. I got MVP. And shortly thereafter, I had to go because Coach Greeley, his name is Bruce Greeley, came by my house in a long car, like a pimp car. I'll never forget it. And we went to Casco, Maine. And that was interesting. And after that, I went to Framingham State, and then I went with like the vest to make you jump higher because I couldn't jump. I wasn't quick. I wasn't fast. So I put this weight vest on to try to make me jump higher or make me quicker. Obviously, that didn't work, but I ended up hurting my back. So I was out like 6 weeks my freshman year. So I made it for the very first game. I think I played maybe 20 minutes the whole year, maybe, but with a great backcourt. Mickey Gonzalez and Don Boyd, a great back. And we made it to the state championships, went to the state house. They asked me to go. Why? I don't know. But we went there for that. My sophomore year, I was a lot better. I was sixth man, and we went pretty far that year as well. And my junior, I got hurt, and we had a lot of talent, but unfortunately, a lot of them dudes flunked out or left school or whatever. Nine brothers. You heard? Nine brothers left the team, and we didn't do that well that year. My senior year, I was determined to make it right or make it wrong. And with Mickey, giving me the opportunity to go to Framingham State, I wasn't going to let him down. So I went. I wanted to quit a few times. I wanted to quit. Never. I said, I can't do that. I can't quit. I can't. Mickey, I can't. Everybody else left. I said, I ain't leaving. In my senior year, quiet as kept. I was I was that. I was that. I was that. What my coach would do, I hope y'all listen to this. This is what he would do. He would go and name, before the game, he would go and name all the four starters. Now, I'm captain 2 years, but he would go and name all the starters except one. And he would walk right by me. And he would go like this. Mm, mm. And you already know. I'm like, what? And it would piss me off. And now when he got me, I'm ready to go through a wall. See, he knew what it took to get me to be to that level. And I can't say hate, but I didn't like him for the fact that I thought he was treating me different. Even though I was captain, it should have been 3 years. I got voted 3 years, and he did that to me. And I'm like, this dude don't like me, man. Something's going on. But what he did do was spur me on. He knew, and he passed away. Bruce Willis, God bless you. He knew I can get under his skin. And that's what it took. And what they did in my senior year, y'all, for real, they would tell me, whatever, Tom Thibodeau, you know, the coach of the Knicks, he played at Salem State, look it up. Anyway, he would tell me, like, we want you to stop the leading scorer from getting his average every game. Every game. Every game. Unless it was a center, I'm only 5'11". So every center, back in Division III, as y'all know, scoring came from the guards and the forwards. Very rarely did it come from the center. The guards and the forwards were the scorers. Because if the center was anything, he would not be in Division III. He'd be in Division II or Division I. But the guards were phenomenal and the forwards were phenomenal. And it was my job to keep everybody below the average. And I can swear on everything I love. On God's will, I did. I did. I definitely. Thibodeau was one of them. He was tough. He was like raw and ruggy. Yeah, I don't remember too much about him because I locked his ass up. So I don't really, but I remember that it was my job to lock them up, and I did. I got my plaques. I got everything to prove it. I'm not trying to brag about myself at all, but I'm just keeping it real. And I even recall that when the draft, because we had 11 rounds in the NBA draft, if you remember. And I'm looking to see if I got drafted. What a stupid move that was. I thought I was going to get drafted. That's how good I was, I thought. And of course I didn't. But my good friend, Mr. John Boo Rice, did. He was the last pick of the Boston Celtics, 82-83. Look it up. You'll see. He was the last pick of the Celtics, and he was a bad boy. Me and him went through wars when we were younger. You know, he was from Boston, you know, New Bedford, little small city, Boston. You know how that goes. And so it was like, it was tough. But I held my own. And you know, thank God, I mean, my memories of Framingham State were phenomenal. I had the leading scorer in the nation. His name is Mott Van Valkenburg. Hope y'all get, I'm going to say it again. Mott Van Valkenburg. Leading scorer in the nation, Division III. And I had him on my team, and he was absolutely incredible. Nobody could stop him. He was left-handed, a white guy, of course. Incredible talent. And I was the point guard. And so, you know, we didn't keep track, unfortunately, about the assists. They kept track about points. So I truly do not know how much assists I averaged. I don't know. I said I was third in the nation. I was number one. Ain't no doubt in my mind. But anyway, I think 13, 14 assists, something like that. I know I did. And he went on he got drafted by the Celtics. There was a picture in the Boston Herald of him dunking on Greg Kite. So if you wanted to look back that year when Greg Kite was there, that's how far back I am. Old as dirt. but that was pretty cool as well. But that I'll talk about, and I have the pleasure of being one of the only people in the country to be honored in the High School Hall of Fame and the Collegiate Hall of Fame in the same year, and that will be 2025. So I had to do something right. I did something right. I did something right. But then getting back a little bit, you know, I was 16 years old in 1976, and there was this guy coming to New Bedford. They said his name was Dr. J. Who? Dr. J. I'm like, who? Yeah, he's coming to New Bedford High. I go, oh, okay. I remember seeing this picture on the Sports Illustrated. I'm like, all right, cool. So me and my boys, we go to New Bedford High School. Place was packed. I remember seeing 5,000 people. I don't know. I mean, I'm 16 years old. I could barely even spell my name. But we go in there, and the place is packed. I still remember he has a gray top, gray sweatpants, sneakers on, and he's throwing the ball against the wall. And he's doing stuff like fundamentals. And people were like, the hell is this? And doctor said, hey, look, I may make it look easy, but it's not. It took, y'all think it took a lot of work. And he said that. He said, I make it look easy, but it's not easy. So anyway, he goes, I'll never forget this. He goes, give me the highest leaper in the building. And of course, it wasn't me. So he goes, and a guy by the name of Gus Hodge comes down from the stands, and Gus is about 6'5", 6'6", could jump out the gym. And he tells Gus, hey, Gus, nice to meet you, da, da, da. Touch the backboard. Okay. Did it, no problem. Oh, touch the rim. No problem. No problem. He said, okay. Then he said, Gus, do this. Touch the backboard without bending your knees. Think about this, y'all. And Gus said, well, yeah, touch the backboard without bending your knees. Gus was like, whoa, we're watching. I'm like, he can't do it. So then Doc, of course, Doc, will touch the rim without bending your knee. Of course he couldn't do it. He didn't come close. Couldn't even come close. So Doctor proceeded to grab two balls, up, boom, left hand, boom, without bending his knees. That place went crazy. Without bending his knees, crazy. So then, maybe 10 minutes later, he goes, well, give me the best players in here, the best five. So give me the best players in here. So my boys, hit me in the shoulder, hit me. I ain't going out there. I'm only 6. I'm going to go out. I ain't going out there. What are you, crazy? Mike, go ahead. Yeah, come on. Go ahead. So I went out. I remember I had, I guess you'd call it a pink or purple shirt. Hey, yo, I had no sugar in my tank, but that's what it was. I had a pocket and blue, not corduroy, blue pants. They weren't jeans. I don't know what the hell they were. Velvet, wherever they were. So I go out there, and I can tell you who it was with me. We line up at half court, and Doctor introduces himself to all of us. His hands were like, yeah. Ridiculous. So he said, well, make yourself comfortable. So y'all gonna laugh at this one. So I'm now mind you, I'm 16 years old. I have change in my pocket because that's all I have is change. So I go and take my shirt off, and all my change falls on the floor. The place is laughing. You know what? They're laughing. So then we go in, we step in line. Games are to 2. We step in line, and Doctor, I think Dave Lay was the first one. Doctor, his 2 jumpers, bang, bang, yeah, out. The next one, 2, yeah, out. The next one, yeah, and then it's my turn. So I go up, and I'm shaking like a leaf, and I'm playing defense on him, and he takes a shot. He misses it. It hits the back of the rim. I grab the rebound. I go to my left, and I do my little, because I used to be known for my shake and bake left hand spin on. I did all that, and I went with the left hand. And of course, it missed. Anyway, but you got to take it out. So Doctor took it out to the foul line. He takes a jump shot, and he misses again. I'm underneath the basket, y'all. For real. My hands are like this. All of a sudden, the ball comes here. He grabs it, and he does a 360 dunk, and the place went crazy. The play, I was like, oh no, this is ridiculous. So then a couple other players play. There's only one person that scored on him. His name was Durham Watkins. He had a jump shot from the corner. That's the only one. And no one else scored on him. He had a jump shot from the corner. And then he goes, okay, y'all, come on down. He said, everybody, come on down. Everybody, come on down. So everybody's in a circle, semicircle. Everybody. The whole, I understand. And all I can tell you, folks, is what a show he put. One ball, two balls, behind the head, tugged up, behind, on the back. Every dunk you can imagine. The only one he didn't do was the foul line dunk because there's too many people. And what I found out later, he had just come from the Rucker, which was 50,000 people lined up everywhere. I didn't know this, but he came after that. And what a show. I don't know what else. Anyway, back again. Every time I do my damn show, somebody calls, which pisses me off. But it happens every time I do it. So no. But every time I do my show, somebody has to call me. Yeah. So every time I do my show, folks, it don't matter what time of day, different times, someone has to call me while I'm doing my show. And unfortunately, when I do my show and someone calls, I lose the volume. That's why I kind of wanted to do the show today to see if, in fact, it's a coincidence or is it just crazy. And sure enough, I do my show between 3 and 3:35. Someone calls in again. So it's just the nature of the beast, I guess. But I'm thankful to be able to do this show. And, I got some great guests lined up. I had Tiny Tavaz last night of the great Tavaz group. And, of course, someone has to call during my show, just like today. It's just the way it is. But anyway, I have some great guests lined up for next week. I got my man, the great saxophonist coming on. I got some boxers coming on. I got some NBA players coming on. I got some football players coming on. I'm thankful for the guests I'm able to have on. Again, I want to thank the network for allowing. I got my own hoodie. You know what I'm saying? They hooked me up. I got my own line, which I'll be promoting as well. But I'm not going to spend too much time. But getting back to Dr. J, like I said, how many people can say they played against Dr. J? How many? And Nate Archibald, that's another one who's supposed to be coming on my show as well. I'm gonna go back one more story, and then I'm out. Uh, Out here in United Front Homes, of course, we're in the poor section, so they renovated the United Front Homes and they put new baskets and all that. And anyway, Nate Archibald came down, and I was about maybe 13, maybe I don't remember exactly, but he came down, and I got to play him 1-on-1. True story. And I scored. I did score against Neandra, but I did. I did. And it was a picture I took with him and my boy Sonny Silva, which I'm trying to find, but I can't. But fast forward 40-something years, I'm doing the broadcasting at the Christmas tournament at the Burgo Basketball Association. And I'm a trivia guy at the time, so I'm relaying all my trivia questions. Of course, no one can answer them. So I'm giving them out, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about Nate Archibald, 34.5 points a game. But I still remember in my head. I can go on and on. So Steve said, yeah, Nate's coming. I'm like, who? Yeah. I'm like, he ain't coming. Sure enough, I turn to my right. Guess who walks in the building? Nate Archibald. And I'm like, wow. And I'm talking about his stats to the crowd because at halftime I give my trivia questions. Of course, no one can answer it. But I give my trivia questions, and he walks in. I'm like, wow. So I go up to him. I said, Mr. Archibald, how you doing? My name is Mike Concesio. I know you don't remember me, but I remember when you came down to the United Front, and I got the chance to play against you. And he turned to me and he said, that was like 40 years ago. So I go back on my chair. I give a trivia question, which I'll give to you all right now. Name the only player to win a high school, collegiate, ABA, MBA, and a gold medal. Name one player. There's only one player that could ever do this. So I'm hitting at him with him. Now, he came down with a team from New York, and the coach was a former ABA player. I can't remember his name. But he came down, and they couldn't even answer the question. So I go in the stands with him. I'm sitting with Nate and his boy. And there's pictures taken, which I'm trying to find out where I can get them. And we're talking. And Nate was so cool. Anyway, I do a lot of basketball camps. There's a guy by the name of Claude Pritchard who is phenomenal. And we talked about Nate. He said, well, Nate's my godfather. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, wow. And then we try to get him to come to the BBA, but of course, the kids nowadays don't know who he is or who he was. They have no idea. So it didn't sell well, so they didn't do it. But anyway, Claude told me, well, I'm going to try to get him on your show. I said, great. So I contacted Claude Pritchard. He ended up getting me two people, Jimmy Myers, who you may or may not know, he was on WBC, whatever. He was supposed to come on my show. He didn't. But he also gave me Paul Presley, who played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He gave me him. And I know Nate has been going through some very physical issues, but he's coming on my show. Best believe I'm getting Nate on my show. There's no doubt in my mind, you know. And again, I know I'm not going to stay too long because it's Saturday. And I just want to let you all know that I've been blessed to have the guests that I have. I've been blessed to be on the network that I'm on. I want to thank Jake Silva and Key Williams for allowing me to do what I do, which is kind of extraordinary. It's kind of different, and you know, but they kind of know who I am and what I am, and you know, I've given out 350 recognition awards. There is nobody in the country has done that. I'm not trying to brag, because it's not me. It's I don't know who it is. It's somebody. I love my people, and I give out recognition awards. That's what I do. It's not me. I'm not bragging. It got nothing to do with me, although it kind of does. But anyway, yeah. Who can you people who listen and watching can say they played against Nate Archibald, Hall of Famer, and Dr. J, Hall of Famer, 1-on-1? That wasn't an NBA player or whatever. Who in the country? Name one. You can't. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying it's the truth. And when Nate comes on, and he will, you guys will see if I'm lying or not. You'll see. And as far as me being a historian, it don't matter now because anyone can go to Google and do all that stuff. I was doing this stuff when there was no Google, no X or whatever. I just knew it in my mind, and you guys will get a chance to see that as well. Also, the fact is, you know, again, I've been blessed. I've been following the NBA since I was age of 12. And I'm gonna say this one more thing before I leave, Key, because I know you want me to get out of here. I'll tell you, anybody, I can sit down with anybody in the country and talk NBA and not feel intimidated at all. I don't care who, except 5 people. These 5, I'm getting up, I'm walking out the door, I'm sprinting, I'm jumping through the window. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm gonna tell you who they are. Hubie Brown, Larry Brown, Popovich, Pat Riley, and who was the 5th? I got 4. There's one more. Those 4 for him right now. Those 4, I'll think of the 5th. But those 4 definitely. Again, Hubie Brown, Larry Brown, Popovich, Pat Riley, and Phil Jackson. Other than that, I'll talk with anybody in a minute and not feel them guys. I'm out the door, out the window, out. You know, I've been blessed. So again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Excuse me. I just wanted to come on to give you guys a little bit of my grind. I've been very fortunate. You know, I hope you guys tune into my show because I got some great guests coming on. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and unfortunately, people calling in on my show, which unfortunately messes up my show. But people call in, and it messes up because the volume goes down, and I can't really hear, and I complain to my producer, and she's like, "Well, maybe you should use a goddamn computer." So, but that's the problem I have. I had a great guest last night, Tiny Tabaz. He's going to come on again. But I did send out a little bit about that. But stay tuned. NFL season's about to, it's kicking off. I'm going to have some NFL guests. And of course, once the NBA kicks off, you already know I'm going to be off the hook. But again, I want to thank the Sports Wave Network. I want to thank Jake Silver. I want to thank Coon McCain. I want to thank Coach Dante. And most of all, I want to thank my producer, Key Williams. Y'all have a great day. I kind of wanted to do this to let you know my grind, but also to see every time I do my damn show, somebody called. And it happened again today. It's crazy. It's just the way it is. But anyway, I will see you all next Friday with my very special guests. And stay tuned because we got a lot of good things coming. And again, I appreciate the Sports Wave Network and the people that I work for. And we're going to have a great time, y'all. And again, thank you so much. Again, it's not my ego. I have no ego. I'm 64 years old. What the hell do I have an ego for? But I just want to let you all know what's going on. And stay tuned because it's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be great. Wait till you see the guests I'm bringing in. Anyway, take care. God bless. Have a safe Saturday, safe weekend, and stay safe. Don't drink and drive. And we all know about that. Justin Timberlake, what? Don't drink and drive. Stay safe. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all Friday. God bless y'all.